What's up, far away family? How's everybody doing today? We're going to be talking about some Andor because this episode was freaking awesome. It was awesome. I don't care what nobody says. This is like one of the best Star Wars episodes. I was freaking, I can't even, oh, Jesus.
I'm a big Clone Wars guy, but this right here is right next to season 7's Maul arc with Ahsoka. That episode, the Phantom Apprentice, I think that's what it's called, it tops this. Hey, you can laugh all you want.
Well, I thought
What's going on, Chris? Lenny,
I thought it was supposed to be a brief intro before the
leader.
actual intro.
How's everybody doing today?
That's why I was like, hey, I don't know if we're talking yet. But all right, whatever.
What?
We don't need no stinky intro.
That's why I was like, I know, but I thought you didn't do the intro.
Huh?
You didn't do the intro.
You know what? I stopped doing that 30-second countdown shit because I was watching our retention rate.
No, I'm talking about the intro.
The intro. We haven't got to that yet. I was going to get to that. We just haven't got there yet.
I figured we'd all share. I figured we could all share an opinion before we hit that button.
Well, we want to let everybody know what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. But
Lenny,
this is too long. It's been a minute and a half.
All right, it's coming right now. Here, everybody. Here we go. Intro time.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Last we will be
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now if you only knew the power of
Here it comes. Let's go.
You are now LightSaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
Hello there, indeed.
And just
Y'all
before
seem
we
kinda
get started,
quiet,
to
I'm not
let
gonna lie.
everybody know, the Star Wars Audio Archives episode is coming out. I know it's late, but I haven't been doing too well the last couple of days. Like, I didn't even get out of bed all day yesterday. I laid in bed all day yesterday. I could not
Oh.
move. I was hurting so bad. It sucked.
Hey,
I get
Kyle
these
CJ,
spikes.
turn up your mics a little bit.
How about that?
That's better. Y'all were just really like, I had to turn down my volume for
that better?
the intro, and then you guys spoke, and you're all quiet. Yeah, you're good too. Sorry,
Okay.
I was just.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
we're
the
being
sucky
picky.
thing about having MS. When you have MS, when you get symptoms, sometimes they just come on for no reason. Like, I didn't even do anything. Saturday I was cool, and then Sunday, okay, I'm lying. I forgot to take my medicine on Saturday night. And Sunday I woke up and I feel like somebody kicked me in the balls all day. Like my whole body, you know that shock feeling that you feel when you get kicked in the nuts?
Right.
Like, oh God, your whole body just shivers and just stuck.
Right.
That's how I feel all day Sunday. Monday I got up and went to work. I feel like crap all day Monday. I came home. I just literally just crashed. I worked on the website, which the website's up, y'all. Swaycast.com. I'll put it in the chat. It's up. It's ready to go. Everything's up on there. There's news coming out there every day and all that stuff. But I worked on that for a little bit, and then I literally crashed. And dude, I slept all day, and then I slept all day Tuesday. And then the only reason I got up today is because I had a meeting this morning, and then I had to take my wife to the airport in St. Louis, which is about an hour and a half drive from us. So, but yeah, I feel a little bit better today. I don't know. I feel like crap, man. I ain't had no energy. I don't know what's wrong with me. But that just sucks when you have enough. J-Dog, what's happening? Clint, what's going on? Okay, so now that we got the bullshit out of the way, the website is up. Let me just let everybody know that again. And it's dope. I put a lot of work into it. Swaycast.com. So it's literally just SWAACAST.com. I put a lot of good work in there. It's dope. At least I think it's dope. What y'all think?
I loved it.
It's good.
And it has everybody so you can like literally go in because there's people that work behind the scenes that is on the team list. So y'all can go check out that stuff. But we have to get into Andor because this fucking episode was awesome. Like
Jesus.
I don't even know, dude. And like literally, I didn't watch it this morning. Usually I'm up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, but like I said, I've just been like crap. Then I had a meeting at 7 this morning. And then then I had to take my wife to the airport. I got back here at like 1. I was gonna work on the Sway podcast because Theodore has been asking me where's it at? You know, I got to get it edited and everything, and I haven't even got it. I haven't even recorded it yet. And then I just crashed again, and I slept all the way till about 5:30 my time. So when I woke up, I was like, shit, I ain't even watched Andor yet. I got to watch this. So I turned it on, and I was blown the fuck away. I'm not going to lie. I was blown away. Like that. This is probably one of the best Star Wars episodes that I have ever seen. The suspense, the overall everything. I feel like I was watching A New Hope for the very first time again. That's kind of how the nostalgia that it gave me. Like it was just like it, and to not have no like big giant reveals or nothing like Luke Skywalker showed up on the damn platform or Ahsoka or somebody to help rescue them or there wasn't no big reveals or anything. It was just like a good, well written out episode. And there's something that was kind of strange. That as I got done watching it, I was looking over IMDb and I was looking over Wikipedia and some other things. And in several places, it came up that George Lucas was one of the writers. So I don't know what is behind that. Like, because we have had no leaks, no rumors, no nothing that popped up that George Lucas has worked on anything that had to do with Andor or anything else other than consulting in any Star Wars project that Disney has done. But it showed up, it was in Wikipedia, it shows him as a writer. So, I don't know if they're just giving him credit for, based on characters from
being
him
a flipping
or
god.
what. But it was kind of cool to see that. So I don't know if that's, I don't know where that is. I think if he was one of the writers, somebody would have put that out. Or he might have consulted with the writers, or who knows what happened. But, just to see George Lucas's name in something that has to do with Star Wars is pretty awesome, other than based on. Everything says based on story by George Lucas. But, like, to see him as an actual person kind of was cool. So what'd y'all think of the episode?
Dude, like, amazing. Every part of it, from the prison break to, like, hit at the very end, like, where he can't swim, like, what the flip? And then flipping, who's the one guy? The one guy who's talking to the ISB double agent?
Lucy.
Yeah, that whole, like, monologue, epic. Oh, dude, it was so good.
Dude, when he said, I've sacrificed everything.
Yeah.
That's why I titled the episode. Well, I didn't title the episode, but the thumbnail said sacrificed everything. Sacrificing everything. The way dude, that shit gave me chills. Do y'all remember the first time you watched Independence Day?
Yes.
And the president was talking to try, rally everybody to go fight the aliens. And that speech he said, we will not go into the night. We will not die. We will persevere and all. Dude, that's how that speech gave me when he was talking. Like,
seriously?
It gave me that same type of feeling. Like, holy shit, like, I want to join the rebellion right now. Where do you sign up at? I want to be a hero. Like, dude, they need to have him as a spokesman for, like, the rebels. What did y'all think about the fucking Mom Mothma scene? Basically, she was like, you want me to pimp my daughter out, you fucking prick? You know what I'm saying? Get your ass out of here.
And I love when he's leaving and he's like, I know it's a lot to think about. And she's like, I'm not thinking about it. There is nothing to think about. And I was like, ooh.
Well,
ooh,
Star Wars team leader.
Bear mode. And watch her little daughter turn into a freak and want that boy from Chandrilla.
So
Like, watch her let herself out like that.
he said she is going to pimp her daughter out. You know she is. The only thing now this is where I come. I think this is the tipping point for Mon Mothma to reveal that she's part of the rebels and where she has to go and have the rebels from the TV series, the animated series, help her. I think this is the tipping point. I think that they're going to. She's not going to do it. She's going to say fuck it, and the Empire's going to find out what she's doing, and this is how they, she has to go on the run because she refuses to pimp her daughter out. Like, even though her daughter's a little bitch, I think that, you know what I'm saying, like, no matter how much your kid, you know what I'm saying, you dislike your kids, you still love them too much to do that. And the way that he asked and the way that she responded, I think she's going to stick to her guns. And I think him saying what he said at the end, like, that's the first time you lied, and her thinking about it, I think that really is what's going to mean. Like, fuck it, I don't give a shit if I get caught. I'm not doing that.
Right. Chris is in the chat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What?
Oh, Chris is in the chat. He's like, I don't IDK if it's just me, but I'm so bored with Mon Mothma's story. They seriously need to have like an episode dedicated to her to make it interesting. I wouldn't dedicate a whole episode to her, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think her story is just... It's definitely not as exciting. I'll give him that.
In my opinion, it's increasing the intensity on her end, but it's not at a rate that is wanting to pique our interests. Every time we see Cassian, it's always something more and more interesting. With her, it's like, a little bit of drama, a little bit of snarkiness, a little bit of secrecy. With Cassian, it's, we got to do this or we die. We got to do this or somebody dies.
Right.
Well, this is what's going on. This is what we need to do. Please help me out with, killing everything. Like,
dude, Cassian
it's the complete 180s on the story.
Cassian is a cold-blooded killer. He don't give a shit. You see how fast he shot them guards? He didn't hesitate at all. Bow, bow. He just started shooting people. He was like, we get the hell out of here. But I do agree with Mon Mothma's story is kind of dry. But I think that I don't know. I want to say that Tony and them is building up to the big reveal of her having to escape the Empire.
Hold up. Who posted the picture of like, why is Garrison so excited? Why is CJ so unamused on Instagram?
That's probably my woman.
Hold on.
She does these every episode. She'll take a screenshot of us.
Let's look at this picture. Look at me. What
Garrison,
the fuck does that look like I'm doing?
You look like you're rooting on like a team. Like you look like you're at a sporting event.
It looks like I'm getting someone to blow in my mouth. Are you kidding?
Oh hell no!
Have you not spotted this?
I'll put it on the screen.
Have you not spotted her doing this? That's why she always says in the chat, smile.
No, I have spotted her doing this. I'm just saying, like, this is one where...
It's one of my favorite things she does while I'm on the show because I don't post anything while I'm on the show. So I'll have her, like, check things and see if people DM us while we're on the show. And, she'll post that one photo of us live telling people to go check us out.
If you're listening, check the Instagram real quick. It looks like I'm...
Okay, I'm about to put it on screen. I'm about to put it on screen right now. Damn, why is it so small? Shit, what the fuck?
That's what
like, literally, it's like so small. Like, you could rarely even see this shit. Like, I don't know why it's like that.
Oh, yeah. That's very tiny.
It's like very, very small.
Looks like I'm giving head.
Like you're about to give some head.
Hell.
Yes, I'm about to suck some dick.
Sorry, I just thought that was funny. But yeah, Andor, super good, awesome, does not suck like me.
Honestly,
hey, Keno's speech when he first did it, I was like, really, that's it? But then when Andor was like, really, that's all you're gonna say? That's it?
That's so like I was telling Garrison before we started the show, what I like about Cassian, he's not the voice, he's not the guy that's going to be the voice of the rebellion or the voice of the revolt. He's the guy that's going to get the most powerful person to turn with him and be the devil on his shoulder to lead the charge.
But I also
That's
like
what
that.
I like about that. That's what I like about him is that devil on the shoulder character. Like, do it. I fucking dare you. Do it.
I also like
Come on.
that because I think we're so
Love
used to
it.
media. Like, if you're not the big guy that everybody looks at, you're not important. And it's showing like the people who are like behind the scenes doing shit are just as important as those people like standing up giving a speech. You know what I mean? And I think we don't see that so much in shows anymore.
All I know is that looking at it, like overly looking at it, like looking at everything, it is like they are bringing so much depth within the story. Even when it's not even like when something interesting ain't really going on. Like even when Mon Mothma was talking, there was no excitement like really there. But listening to what they're saying, like really, did this dude ask her to fucking pimp out her daughter? Like, is that what she just said? Like, oh, I want your daughter to bang my 14-year-old son. Like, what is going on? Like, Jesus, what the hell? But I also did like, there was aliens in the show. We seen stormtroopers, or I don't know if they were stormtroopers or clone troopers. Couldn't really tell because it was kind of like the backside of them. The actual, the gunshots, it wasn't like Tales of the Jedi where it was blaster shots that sound like real guns. Like, I don't think the blaster's supposed to go pow, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, just everything was done so excellently. And another thing that I have to give Tony credit for is his transitions from scene to scene are freaking excellent. They keep the pacing so well. He's using like and I know I've said this, I'm sounding like a broken record here, but the way he's doing it is just, I mean, it's freaking phenomenal. Like, dude, how just streamless and how well it keeps the pacing going. Even in the boring ass Mon Mothma scene, it still has good pacing. You know what I'm saying? That the discussion, how it jumped from one camera to the next as they're talking, how I looked over at the dude like, please don't fuck this up because I tried my best to get this. And they're looking at him and then they flip back. And I mean, it's just seamless. It's just so good. Yeah, I think Lucen is like, I think he's a little Sith there, Star Wars team leader. Lucen gave me Sith vibes about killing that squadron, just like, look. But, I mean, 50 people over the information that he's getting, I see why he's going to do it, but at the same time, it's kind of jacked up.
Well, I like what I like.
That's what he talks about. He basically has to sell his soul for a greater cause, for lack of a better term. Like, he has to, like, because he doesn't want to do that shit. He talks about it. He has to sell himself. He has to give up love. He has to give up kindness. He has to give up decency in order to win this war. And so it's like all that he's giving up.
Well, it's just like, so I kind of look at it like Al Capone. Al Capone was like this major mob boss, but he also did so much good for the community. And it was like, he did this shit. He was like this major crime boss, but that's the way he was able to give back. I mean, how many times did they talk about he was the Robin Hood of the mob? Because he gave back so much to the community. And there's been a lot of like mob, mob leaders that's been like that. They do all this bad shit, but a lot, they give back and they build up the community and they do so much for people that it's kind of like it's kind of like, what is the greater good? Do I do this because the government is fucking us over and we're all living in the slums? I make a shit ton of money and I give back to the community, make sure everybody's eating, take care of everybody. Or are you just like that criminal asshole that wanted to get his son some pussy and, try to get Mon Mothma to do it? You know what I'm saying? Are you like him? He just got so much money, but he don't care about nobody but himself. I just like the way that she was like, well, what do you want? I would rather pay for it. What do you want? I'm not going to owe you. And I agreed with her on that because I hate owing people. I do everything in my power never to owe anybody anything. I hate owing people.
I like how it kind of shows the complexity of morality. You know what I mean?
Well,
and how not everything's so cut and dry.
It also shows the complexity of Star Wars in this time. Like what's happening. What is the Empire forcing people into? Like, what are people willing to do to get like out of this situation? And you got to think about it. Somebody brought up the point on Reddit the other day of how they're putting so much like politics into this episode or into Andor, like world politics stuff that we're going through now. And it's like, dude, sooner or later, it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. It was designed to happen this way. When Washington and them was creating the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that, they set it up because they knew at one point that our government was going to become corrupt and that the people were going to have to take back over the government. And it's basically the same thing that's happening in Star Wars. And when they, on the Reddit thing I was reading, when the person was explaining like all the little details, I was like, dude, holy shit, I didn't realize it was that much. I could tell there was some politics in it, but holy shit, there's a lot. There's a lot of it, but it's working. Like, dude, if it's working, it's working, because this freaking show is awesome. Like, I'm still not saying it's as good as Mandalorian, but it's up there. They're running neck and neck. I still think Mandalorian is better just because it's more Star Wars. I like Mandalorian. I don't know. I just like them. There's no Grogu's in here. There's nothing that you like can just like literally fall in love with. Like, oh my God, that's so cute. You don't got none of that. You got badassery and little cuteness. You don't have that in here. You just got freaking. It's like pure. Just everybody in this shit is just evil, and everybody's looking to fuck everybody over, no matter what it takes, as long as the Empire loses. Let's get it done.
I like it.
I don't know. It's exciting. And the messed up thing about it is the show that I was least likely wanting to watch is the show that's turning out to be one of the best ones ever.
Exactly. Like the show I was least excited for. Jesus Christ. But yeah, the show I was least excited for is the one that's ended up being my favorite.
Did y'all see that they signed what's-her-face to the Acolyte? What's her name? Defani,
Another person.
Chick from
Wow,
Matrix.
so now we have 3 characters in Acolyte.
Well, no, they got a bunch
There's
of characters.
there's like 9 people.
Yeah, they're about to start filming.
Yeah.
They said the cast is complete. They're about to start filming.
Last I heard, it was like a dude that got cast, and that was it.
Nah, there's a whole bunch of people.
Bro, I see 4
now.
people here.
What are you talking about? There's way more than 4 people.
I'm looking it up.
You got Amidala,
Oh,
whatever her
okay,
name.
I see.
You got
I know
the
none of
Fawn
these
chick.
people.
You got the one dude.
Oh, wait, I know Lee Jung.
Lee Jung.
He was
June.
yeah, he's the only guy I know.
Amidala Steinberg. She's the little girl from. What's the name of that? What was the name of the movies?
I don't know.
Amidala Steinberg played in when she was a little girl.
I couldn't tell you.
Them movies was dope. They was kind of dope. The one where you gotta like go fight in the thing, like the kids who had to be sent out into the freaking.
The Hunger Games?
Yeah, Hunger Games.
What?
Yeah, she was a little girl in the Hunger Games.
She
in the
was
first
Rue?
Hunger Game. Yeah, and then you got what's her face from Matrix. And I don't remember what movie the other chick played in. The Turner chick. But yeah, they got a good cast. I think it's going to be a good show. If it has to do with the Sith, it's going to be good. Just because I love the Sith, so I think it's going to be good. It might suck. I'll be mad as shit. Like, really, y'all made the Sith look bad, you piece of shit. Fuck you, Disney. But let's see what we got over here. What did Lenny say? When Luthen says he shares his dreams with ghosts, I was like, is he talking about his family, or is he talking about the other people who made an oath for the rebellion like Mon Mothma? I don't know who the hell he's talking about. Y'all have any idea?
No. But like when he was talking like that though, like when he's talking to that guy on that corridor way, that catwalk looking thing, like his anger while talking to him, his like distaste for having to have this conversation was gorgeous. It was very, very well put. Like when he talks about his sacrifice, and then Luthen talks about his sacrifice, it literally made the guy who's playing for the Empire pretty much look like a pansy compared to what Luthen sacrificed. He's like, at least you have a wife and a kid. I sacrificed everything to a point where I can't do that because it leads to vulnerabilities. That's pretty much how I took out of that. I can't be vulnerable because this cause needs me to be 100% in power, in use. And every aspect of that conversation was just like, fuck yes.
I like this comment. When Luthen says he shares his dream with ghosts, I was
That's
like,
why I
is he
just read
talking
that.
about it?
Were you not
Oh,
paying
you did?
attention? I just read
I
it.
guess I'm not paying attention. No, but I wanted to say something about it.
Oh, okay.
I think ghost could also refer to just the things that haunts him, like all the regrets. Like all the things he gave up are ghosts.
Well, he gave up being able to have a family. He
gave up everything, yeah.
He gave up everything. That's why he says, I sacrificed everything.
Yeah, and it haunts him. And I don't know. Sorry, never mind. I think that it was very well written, the script.
It could be people that he killed. Yeah, I think it could have been people he killed, or
I think it's memories.
because he's about to kill 50 people. Like, it ain't shit. Like,
Right.
you said back and you watched, like, even Keno was hesitant to kill. Andor didn't even freaking hesitate. And Luthen's like, oh, we'll just kill all 50 of them. It's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why Luthen liked Andor. Like, he knows he's doing it for the right reasons. He has that same type of mentality as Luthen. He's gonna get the job done. He's not scared to look at the glass as half full type person. Oh yeah, we gotta kill 50 people, but in the long run, I'm gonna save your ass, and you're gonna give me a bunch of information that's gonna save millions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, to have that type of look. And Andor's kind of like, I'll kill if I have to, but that it's just because I have to. Like, when he killed, he didn't mean to kill the dude in the first episode, but everybody else he's killed is because he had to kill them. It wasn't like he sat back and just goes out and kills people. He's not that type of person. And it's almost like he feels regret for it later, but he was like, at the moment, he had to do it. Because when he shot old dude in that one episode, the dude was a dick, and he was talking about robbing everybody. Like, dude, what are you talking? What? We're going to do what? Oh, no, you got to die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The guards today, he just shot them like it wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew he had no choice. It was either shoot them or we're going to die here.
Yeah, but they didn't kill the guards up in the control room.
Yeah, they didn't need to. That's the thing. They weren't a threat. It's almost like you got to be a threat to Andor.
Motherfuckers.
Oh, I would have shot everybody.
Yeah,
I would have
shot everybody.
I don't want them accidentally like turning something back on while I leave. Like,
that's why I was like, you guys are just gonna leave. What keeps these dudes from turning the shit back on? They're
That's
like,
what
you
I
just
said.
turned it off. Like, you're just gonna leave.
So you can't
like, go
trust
ahead and
these
shoot
motherfuckers.
this out and kill both of them. But hey, I was surprised when Keno walked in that room and he says, "What blah 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 blah," and then he shoots the dude to the right of him. I was surprised because Keno just doesn't look. I mean, he seems like one of those guys that's a hard ass, but he's really not that hard. He's really not that tough. He just got into a position where he can be strong because he was in charge. But when the shit started happening and everything, he kind of was, kind of timid at first, and I didn't think he had it in him. And then he walked in and shot that dude. I was like, oh shit, Keno's dope, all the way up to the point. To me, that's one of those situations where it's like the Luke Skywalker in Episode 8. Like, dude, you let him, like, he's gonna get recaptured. They're gonna kill him. They're gonna torture him and they're gonna kill him. And like, y'all let him die. Like, it just hurt me to know that he's gonna die or he's gonna get jacked up, kind of like Luke Skywalker. It's gonna be just, you did all that work and you did all this stuff just to go out like a punk. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that kind of bothers me. That I was just looking at it. And then at the end, I'm like, I'm hoping more people than just Andor or Cassian and the other dude escapes, because that's the only two people you see running. Like, all the 5,000 people jumped off this damn thing and only 2 people survived. I hope more people than that. I hope they ran another direction or something, because that sucks. Like, that's bad. Right. And then you could tell how hurtful it was when he said, I can't swim, and then they hit him, and he flies off the edge. Andor looked at him like, dude, I can't leave you here.
I know.
Kind of look. That shit
That
was
was
like,
so heartbreaking too.
like, dude, what do you mean you can't swim? Shit, you better get on my back, damn it. We gonna both swim to the edge. Just keep kicking your legs and your arms. Don't panic.
Doggy
Or
paddle,
follow us will
fucker.
get you to
Doggy
the
paddle.
edge. But
But dude, he did such a good job of acting. Like he was both like heartbroken that I'm not going to escape, but he was also happy that they did it and that others are getting to escape. And he showed all of that just by the look on his face. It
dude,
was incredible.
the acting on this was freaking awesome. Like,
Phenomenal.
dude, the acting in this whole series has been pretty spot on. Like, I
What was
haven't
he saying?
seen,
Yeah.
like, there's been several, little key mistakes. Like, in this episode, one of the mistakes that I seen, and it's not really a mistake, but it's something that's frowned upon.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what is bad about this episode? Because it just seemed awesome.
The only thing that I seen that was bad is when Mon Mothma is talking, there was one time that her lips didn't match the words that was being said. I was like, what? Wait, okay, wait, that kind of threw me off a little bit. And then she's shaking her leg. And when you're an actor, you don't want to do any type of movements that will distract the other actors that are acting with you. So for her to be shaking her leg during that part, that's a distracting move. They tell you to relax and sit still when you're doing it. Your body movements should be stuff that you're doing that's going to interact with the scene.
Yeah, maybe she did it on purpose to like look nervous or something.
I mean, she could have, but it's something that it caught my attention because it's
I don't
know. I just noticed little things like that, and it's just something that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to anything that's repetitive action. You're not supposed to do, like shake your leg or, you know what I'm saying. Who was it? I think it was Kurt Russell. They said he used to smack his gums a lot when he talked.
Oh, really?
And it used to distract other actors, and so a lot of people didn't want to work with him because they were like, dude, he smacks, like, you're trying to talk and he's over there smacking his gums while you're talking. You know what I'm saying? So it's distracting the shit out of you when you're trying to say your lines. So a lot of people didn't want to work with him. I think it was Kurt Russell that they was talking about that did it. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. That's something I didn't like. They was all running and the boots was hanging up on the thing and not nobody put on no damn boots. That irritated me. That was one of the things that irritated the shit out of me. I'm like, dude, you guys are grabbing the guns, but nobody is putting on none of these boots. The boots is hanging right there. They all got the orange sole on the bottom. They ran past everybody, and not one person put on the boots. I said, man, you guys are crazy. That's the first thing I'm doing. I'm putting on the boots just in case.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm putting on the boots. And then I'm going to get the guns, and then I'm going to shoot some people. But I'm putting on the boots first because you never know when they might activate the floor again, or they fix them, or they got a backup system, or, any type of thing.
There's a mad mob just fighting over the boots.
It was crazy. I thought Keno was dead. When they hit the thing and the floor started shocking, because he told everybody to get on the tables, and then he was standing there. And when they hit the thing, it was like that one dude dies, and he's just standing there, and it shut off, and he was still alive. I was like, oh shit, that was exciting as hell. Then it sucked when he didn't make it at the end when he couldn't swim. Like, dude, you went through all that, you survived the shocking.
Bro, at that point, like, bro, just try. Like, come on.
Like, dude, you gotta
get on someone's back.
That's what I'm saying. All them people, 2 or 3 of them could help you swim to the fucking shore.
I know.
And that's something that I wanted to bring up. So I went back and watched the episode before I was going to bring this up before I just forgot about it. So if we went back to the episode when they first land there on the thing, when they're flying in, how we said, it's just in the middle of the ocean. Remember, Garrison, we was talking about this, just in the middle of like this big water.
I don't know how they're going to swim. It's going to be far.
Where they're going to swim to, when they fly in, you can actually see land on the other side of it. So that's where they were swimming.
I was going to say, I was like, either this is like close enough swim where like if the guy can swim, let him jump on someone's back, or everybody's dying, nobody can make that swim. Like, it's one or the other.
Yeah, I seen that, and I was like, oh, shit, me and Garrison was both sitting there talking about that freaking, there ain't no land nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how is there if there ain't no land where they're gonna swim to? But I was gonna bring it up before. I just didn't think about it till now. So it was kind of pointless. But I mean, it made sense because then now everybody just watching. It's like, dude, how did they get to land if they were in the middle of this water? You know how far you'd have to swim. It really wasn't that far away. When the ship flies in to drop them off, you can see the land off to the right of the ship.
I think the reason the water was such a big deal before is because they had the drain things going.
Yeah.
There was like a whirlpool where you would, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to jump off anyways because you just jump right into that whirlpool.
Or they turned them off. That's another thing. When they shut down
that's
them
why
things,
it was
turned them
okay
off.
now. Yeah, exactly.
So they didn't have them suction thing, which I was kind of like, ain't that kind of what helping it stay afloat? So why didn't it sink? Like I started thinking about that. Like,
oh yeah,
should it have sank?
I think it's just built. I don't think it's floating.
Like it might be going all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, something like that.
It's possible.
I could see that.
But it, like, if you look at the design of the top of it, it looks like the Empire logo. That was like one of the Easter eggs that I caught when they showed the overview at the very beginning of the facility. It looks like the logo of the Empire. So it's like, dude, they designed their prisons to look like the logo. Like, who does that? Like, the Emperor is just, dude, Palpatine is just one of those people. You know what I'm saying? He's like very, very cocky. He don't give a shit. Hey, did y'all see that meme that somebody posted? Somebody posted a meme and it's like the presidential election thing for 2024 and it has Palpatine on top, Vader on the bottom, and then the logo is like the Swish logo of the Republicans, but the circle part of it is the Death Star. Somebody posted it. I seen it on TikTok yesterday or Instagram, I think. I can't remember which one it was. But I was like, dude, somebody stole our idea. I've been saying that shit for over a year now. Which I don't know how Vader's going to be Vader didn't have no clones. Palpatine got 1,000 clones. And just imagine, as powerful as Snoke is, he doesn't know how to swim.
Shit.
You're so stupid.
Because he was snatching Rey and them around, so snatching Rey in the Force like she wasn't shit.
Yep.
And
it's Snoke, Schmeagol, Caesar. The boy, that man has there's nothing he can't do. I love it.
The acting, like I said, his acting, Diego Luna's acting, just everybody's acting in this was just freaking like.
What would y'all rate it? What's the rating?
Would I rate this episode? Oh, I'm rating this episode high. Like that, I said there's a few things wrong because nothing's perfect, but shit, this was one of those episodes that had me just like, I was glued to the TV. I could not stop. Like
so
my son said something to me, I was about to punch him in the face. Like, boy, you better shut the hell up and leave me alone. I'm trying to watch this.
What a good dad.
I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm giving this episode a 9.
All right, CJ?
9.
Beautiful. That's 9s all the way around.
This fucking episode was epic. It was literally everything. Like, the only thing that could made it better is like a more feistier feistier conversation with Mon Mothma. Like, it was civil, it was all right, and then it got feisty. It would have been nice to have feisty right out the gate, to be honest. Because that guy, the way he was dressed, the way he walked in, the way he acted, he seemed so confrontational. And the fact that he waited so long to spike that confrontation with Mon Mothma was very fucking aggravating to me. To me, like, I would have put it at a 9.5 if it would have been like, Mon Mothma, either you do it or you get the fuck out of my house. There's nothing I'm going to do for you that you're going to like other than pay you back or give you a percentage.
Yeah, I don't know. There was so many things that I liked about this episode, and there was very, very few things that I didn't like. You know, I didn't like the fact that they didn't put the boots on. That took off a 0.5 right there because I'm like, dude, that's just stupid. I didn't like, that the way that she when she was acting, she was moving her leg and doing all that. I didn't like that, and I didn't like because it was a. And I don't. It might have just been a missed edit. I mean, I know it happens. They're looking at so many hours of footage, and for her lips not to match up for just a quick moment, and that might not even be a reality. That could have been something that just happened on my end of of the it could have been my internet or something, whatever, messed up. But I noticed that. Like I said, I have to watch it again to like see some of the other things because I didn't catch really a lot of Easter eggs just because I just watched it. I was glued to the TV as I was watching it, but at the same time, I usually try to watch it at least twice. I usually watch it in the morning and then I watch it in the afternoon when I get off of work. But just today was just so things. But I don't know. There wasn't enough that really deterred my thing. And I don't give 9s very often. But this episode just was good. Now we'll have to see if this two episode arc. I have a feeling that we're going to be left with Mon Mothma going to the Rebels, and I have a feeling that they're going to drop a Ezra or a Syndulla or something
Ezra.
in the episode at the end.
No, don't do it, please.
Well, they have to, because at some point, Mon Mothma has to go on the run again, away from the Empire. And we know what happens if they're going to follow the storyline that she does. She has to hook up with the Rebels.
I don't want to see him. I don't.
Why don't you want to see him?
I'm just worried because Easter eggs are like something like that, like references where a character walks in. You can't help but think they're pretty cringy. Like in Book of Boba Fett, it was a little cringy.
Well,
it just depends. Worried that's gonna be cringy.
Because when Luke walks in Mandalorian, it was spectacular.
Right.
So if you have somebody like
because it was like the first time it was fresh, but now it feels like they keep overdoing it, where it's just cringy.
Well, the reason that I think that they're gonna do it, there's two reasons. One, because we know it has to happen. We know that it has to happen at some point that she has to get away from the Empire because that's part of becoming a rebellion. So we know it has to happen. The second reason is because you got Hera, you got everybody from Rebels is going. Well, I don't know if everybody, but I know that Hera's going to be in. They've already. I'm not going to say I know. It's been leaked that Hera's going to be in the Ahsoka series.
It was in the trailer.
Yeah, so we know that Hera's going to be in the Ahsoka series. Ezra, that's who she's looking for, is Ezra and Thrawn.
We saw Sabine in the trailer too. She was up on the deck.
She was casted. The chick that is casted for Ahsoka. I mean for Sabine. So it just makes sense that they would draw in these characters, especially this is a time period where these characters come in the animated series. So they're either going to do it and I have a feeling that they're going to do it at the end of the series in order to draw it into the next series. Or we're going to get K2SO. At some point, like, K2SO got to pop up in the series because he's a major...
So, fun thing about that, I follow Alec Tunick on our Instagram and on my Instagram. He was in a recording studio the other day. He dropped a photo of him being... He didn't say when it was taken or what he was doing, but it looked like a very, very high-end voice recording studio. So he might be...
It could be a picture that I took him before, and now they just gave him the okay to release it.
Yeah.
Because the guest that hopefully will be on the show this Saturday couldn't come on before because he was in these 3 episodes. And he told us that he couldn't come on the show until after his thing because of his NDA. He had to wait till his episodes aired before he could come on any shows. So hopefully he shows up. We'll see. We haven't had the best of luck with Andor actors.
Nope.
We don't need to fuck him.
No, that the kid from the beginning of the season he had
Could've made him fuck
he suffered a family loss. It's
I-
understandable.
it was a.
And I
was
talked to
joking.
him since then. And I talked to what's his face, the one security guard dude, whatever they're called, Cyrus people. But he just had the times wrong. He thought it was later in the day, or he thought we were supposed to come on earlier because he was in California, and then we came on at what time we were supposed to come on, which was 2 hours after. He was like, how they gonna ask me to come on the show and then be like, don't even do the show? So, but that's why I'm just not getting my hopes up. You know, I'm just like, whatever. Some people come up with excuses. These are all younger actors. You know, they don't have the old school, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it type of attitude. Which is, but I think that's what's gonna happen. In my honest thing, it's either gonna be K2SO is gonna show up. Like, I think that he's gonna they're gonna send the K2SO droids to go after the inmates, and he's gonna catch up to Andor, and then Andor's gonna hotwire him or something. That's what I think might happen. Or it's gonna the Rebels crew is gonna show up. Mon Mothma's gonna go on the road, because this is why I believe that. Mon Mothma, this was like the key factor. When she told the dude no, now the Empire's gonna know that she's been using money. You know what I'm saying? Her own money. And she doesn't have no like receipts. She doesn't have anything to go back on to show what she used this money for. 400,000 credits is a lot of credits to use and not be able to show proof of what, you know what I'm saying, you use that money on. It's like basically if one of us went and spent $400,000 and the IRS said, hey, what'd you spend this $400,000 on? And we were like,
no, they want to know
Hookers
how
and
I
blow.
got the $400,000.
Hookers and blow.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're going to ask questions. You don't just go spend $400,000 without people asking questions. And the Empire's about to come asking questions, and she has no way to launder the money now. She has no way to hide the money without this dude. So she either pimps her daughter out, or she either pimps her daughter out, or she's gonna get caught, or you know the Empire's gonna come. And I think when they come to get her, that's when she's gonna speak out against the Empire. And I honestly don't think that her driver is a ISB spy. I don't think he's
You don't
a
think
spy.
so?
I think he's working for Luthen. I think he's working for Luthen.
like a double?
I think when they come to arrest her, he's gonna want to help her escape. And when he helps her escape, then that's how we get led on to the rebels.
Maybe. I don't know. That's a risky guess.
That is pretty risky.
We know that at some point that it's gonna happen, that something's gonna happen where she has to go to the rebels. We know that because this happens during this time period. We know if they stick to the canon, which we know Disney ain't reluctant to stick to the canon timeline. But we know if they follow what happened on Rebels, it's during this time that she takes off running and she gets hooked up with the Rebels. So we're either going to have Rebels coming in by the end of the season or next season, or K2SO got to come in, because we know that he comes in somewhere during this time period before Rogue One. And we know in Rogue One that they've been together for a while. So, because of just their interactions together. So we know that one of those two things has got to happen. Now, is it going to happen by the end of this season, or is it going to happen in the beginning of next season? I just think that they need a good arc to finish off the season, and something to leave us wanting season 2 to come. They got to build up that. You got to leave people on a cliffhanger. That's like the key rule to when you're writing anything. You want to leave them on a cliffhanger. Like this one, they left us on a cliffhanger. You got Andor and old dude running off down the beach, which that beach resembles the beach in Rogue One. That was one of the Easter eggs that I noticed. but at the same time, they're running, so that's right there. What's Luthen shutting the door on the dude? Is the dude gonna go back to the ISB and snitch? Is the dude gonna stay on the side, Luthen's side, and go be a hero for the rebellion? What is it gonna do? It's a cliffhanger. And then with the Mon Mothma part of it, what is she gonna do? Is she gonna give up her daughter, pimp her daughter out, or is she gonna say screw it and get caught by the Empire? All three of those places that they left, it leaves us at a cliffhanger. So they got, and when they leave, the cliffhangers in major, like for a whole season, they do big cliffhangers. So I could see, the Empire coming out after Mon Mothma, and then Mon Mothma, going to the rebels, and then right at the very last thing, we see like Kanan and like Hera or Sabine or somebody, picking her up and going right into rebels. Or we could see Andor's on the run, gets K2SO, he's hot wiring K2SO. He got to escape he got to try to figure out how to escape from this thing. He's trying to rewire the droid to help him, and then it ends the season, and we don't know what happens. Them is two great cliffhangers that's going to leave us in a position where 2 years from now, when they bring out the next one, hopefully it's shorter than that, we're gonna be anticipating it the whole time, and it's gonna just build up more anticipation. Which I know there's multiple other things that they could do, and we never know what they're going to do. But that's what I'm hoping that we'll get at the, because I would love to see Freddie Prinze Jr. show up as Kanan. Oh, yeah. And we know that he would do it. He said he would do it in live action. In interviews, he would love to do it. He said it on his podcast that he would love to do it. So it's just real funny that he was talking about it a whole lot, and then it just went silent. So I have a feeling at some point, because we know it got to happen if they stick to the canon timeline with Rebels, that they got to be, that Mon Mothma got to go to the Rebels, or got to go to that part of the Rebels. So one of those two things is what I'm anticipating is going to happen. I don't know I don't have no, at this moment, I don't have no inside. I don't have any inside shit when it comes to Andor, which kind of sucks, which is kind of good at the same time, because I'm really being surprised. A lot of times I know shit's going to happen, and then I'm not surprised when it happens, so it kind of sucks.
Although I will give it to you, it would be cool to see like the Rebels live action. So
I mean, it would be something that would be, I mean, we know that Hera's coming. We know that Sabine is coming. If Hera and Sabine is coming,
give me Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie Prinze Jr. can't be there because he dies in Rebels. But Ezra, we know that they cast the kid for what's his face that played in Aladdin as Ezra. So we know he's going to be in there at some point.
Who the fuck are they going to
playing Thrawn? We know that they already said that they casted him to play Thrawn. We have all this information.
Who's going to be big forearm dude?
Big forearm dude.
Forearm dude. You mean Zeb?
Zeb, 2 arms. He didn't have forearms. His legs look like arms. His legs have hands. Anyways,
I don't know who they got to play Zeb. I don't even know if Zeb's
I don't know why
around
the
at
fuck
this
I
point.
said forearm.
Zeb doesn't die in Rebels, so only Freddie Prinze Jr. is the one that dies in Rebels, because he dies on top of that ball. When they blow up the thing, he pushes them back and saves them. So we know that he's not going to be in Ahsoka.
Yeah, but he would be in it during this timeline, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Freddie. That's why I'm saying
Andor.
It was real crazy. That I mean, it was all over Reddit and everything way before when they first announced this show and the timeline that this show was going to be. Freddie Prinze Jr. was like, "I would love to come back and I'd play Ezra and all this blah blah blah." He said it on his podcast. He was saying it. It was all over Reddit. It was all over the news and everything.
Oh, dude,
and then it just went silent.
He might then. If it went silent like that, honestly, it might happen.
That's what makes me think that he's gonna come and play Ezra. I mean, come and play Kanan. Because why would you just? Yeah, I would do it. Got all this fan service and everything built up, and then just quiet. That's one of those like key factors that just let you know something happened. They either told him to shut the hell up, they gave him the part, or whatever the situation. And they pretty much announced everybody that was supposed to be in this series, and we didn't hear anything about none of the rebels. That's the only reason I think that K2SO is coming. That's what gives me that thought that in these last 2 arcs, this is how he meets K2SO.
Right.
But at the same time, did they hush everything up because they didn't want people guessing? What's going on, Bodie? But we'll have to see where they lead us. I just don't, honestly, Tony, like, for him to tell people, like, because I think his cameraman, was it the cameraman or one of the directors? I think it was the director that directed these 3 series, this 3 arc. He told him, I know you're a super Star Wars fan. I know you are. But I need you to leave all that shit outside. I need you to come in here and direct the episodes that we've given you. I don't want you to be all fan-struck about doing Star Wars. I don't want you to think about it like it's Star Wars. I want you to come in and do a good job directing and telling the story. Because Tony doesn't want that Star Wars feel. He wants people to look at the story that they're telling. He doesn't. That's why there's not a lot of droids. There's not a lot of aliens. He said that he made sure that he didn't have a lot of that in their stormtroopers and stuff like that, because he wanted people to pay attention to the characters that are most important. He didn't want people to get distracted by droids and all this other stuff.
See, he's not bullshit fan service. He's let's make a good story.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it the right way, and he's telling a story. That's what's making it so good, because we have a story. That's what made Mandalorian so good, because there was a story. We knew what they were doing. He was trying to figure out how to get Grogu to his people.
What people?
Even though, and I can't even say that they've really done that in this. There hasn't been a lot of B-roll type episodes. The story has been consistently the structure of this entire series. There's been a story. Every episode is kind of showed a story and how the progression of the story. And the story is what we need, because we want to know about these characters. We want to know. We kind of know about, we know that the outline, we know the ending, but what happened? Like, what really caused them to be in this situation? What caused the rebellion to start? How did everybody come together? And that's the story that they're telling. And they're doing a good job. And they're not over, because really we don't need to know that Andor went to prison and broke out of prison, and we don't need to know none of that. We know he dies at the end of Rogue One. We know what happened.
Didn't know. Yeah, by that logic, we didn't need this entire show, Kyle.
We really didn't. But if they're gonna do it the right way, and that's the way that they're doing it. They're doing it the right way. Well, they're telling us the story to lead us to that position.
In some ways, that's a good thing. It's like, hey, we have a good story for this character. It's not, hey, people like Kenobi, we need a Kenobi story. It was, no, we have a good story. It wasn't.
Well, and the other thing is this, and it kind of sucks, because I love John and Dave. John and Dave do awesome shit for Star Wars. But if you look at the last 2 things that they've done, that they've been executives over, they haven't turned out that great. And then you bring in somebody that's not looking at Star Wars as Star Wars, not somebody that's coming in doing a fan service type thing, and came in and did a show and tried to do the best show he could do. And he didn't go in looking like, I have to do this and I have to do this to please the Star Wars fan. I'm just going to come in and do a great story. And Tony and his brother, and they came in and they did that. I mean, they're doing that. And I know I can't give them all the credit, because it has a lot to do with the writers and, stuff like that. But that was something that, he stated to the writers, I don't want this to feel like a Star Wars fan service. He said it in interviews. The music, I don't want it to sound like every other Star Wars episode or Star Wars show or Star Wars movie. I want it to sound different. I want it to be different. I want everything to be different, but I still want it to be Star Wars, but I want it to be different. And in all of his interviews, he's talked about it. Like, this is going to be something that Star Wars hasn't done before. And he's proven that. And that's the type of directors and storytellers that we need in Star Wars. Somebody is not going to come in and say, oh, fan service, let's do a freaking Raid spinoff, or let's do a Boba Fett and Kenobi spinoff, and we'll just give them whatever they want. They're not doing that. He's doing something totally different. He's showing us where Star Wars could go. Like that dark, grittier, more intense adult Star Wars. Because there's a lot...
Beautiful.
There's more adult Star Wars than there is kid Star Wars fans, and that's what I think one of the things that we've been lacking is we're getting
the
kid
thing is
Star
with that,
Wars,
though,
and we're not getting adult Star Wars.
but the thing is with that though, you got to play devil's advocate with that at the same time though, because you're going to want some kid stuff so you can have your kids enjoy what you enjoy. You know, as they grow, you can show them Andor and all these grittier shows, but you got to play devil's advocate. You got to give that half and half.
Cartoons. That's why we got.
No, that's what I'm saying though. You got to continue the Bad Batch.
I don't
do
think
the Tales of the Jedi. Like Garrison and I were talking about the Book of the Sith. Like, give us those cartoons that get our kids intrigued, but give us more Andor stuff for the adults like us that love this shit.
Honestly, I don't.
Shit up. You know?
I mean, there's nothing in Andor that's been shown so far that would make me just think that a kid couldn't watch that. I would let my kids watch this. It's what they see shooting shit at school. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they don't know what shooting is. And it's not like there's been any like real sexually orientated thing. Okay, they went to bed and then they woke up the next day and she was laying in the bed. That's not sexual orientation. You know, them being in a brothel, you're not seeing sex. Sex is something that I would be more deterrent to than killing. I mean, shit, they got that on cartoons. You see Bart Simpson and shit killing people and all kind of crazy shit, you know, in The Simpsons and American Dad, and you know what I'm saying? They see that all the time on regular TV. So, like, there's nothing that's been in this that would make me deter my kids from watching Andor. You know, if they were younger, I let them watch way worse shit than this. I mean, shit, my youngest son, his favorite movie was Machete. You know what I'm saying? He watched the shit out of it and he was like 5. You know what I'm saying? There was way worse shit in there. I let him watch that. So I don't see anything that's really detrimental to kids watching. I just don't think they're going to understand it because they're not going to understand the story. They're not. That's why
that's why I was saying play devil's advocate. Give them something kind of on that Clone Wars level where they think, oh, cool animation, and actually really like to watch it. And then you give us the Andor stuff. And if they want to watch it with you, because every parent's going to be different, I'll watch Andor with Phoenix. Will she pay attention? Probably not. But I put on Clone Wars
because there's too much dialogue.
Yeah. But you put on Clone Wars, she knows Ahsoka. She gets excited over Ahsoka.
Hey, that's why I told my daughter the other day. She told me my grandson, my 6-month-old grandson, or he's 7 months old now, almost 8-month-old. Like, his favorite show is something. And I'm like, dude, put on Clone Wars for him. He'll love that shit. Like, all the lightsabers and, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he'll love that.
You just gotta make more cartoons to even out all the TV show, like live actions. Like I said, you're giving us.
I can't wait for Bad Batch to come.
Oh, I can't either.
Can't wait to see
I love that.
The second season, Bad Batch the first season was dope. I mean, it wasn't the greatest thing ever, but to me, it was. I would much rather watch Rebels than I would watch the Bad Batch. But the Bad Batch was still up there with like Clone Wars. I love the animation style on the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch. The animation style is just awesome. Rebels animation just is terrible. But I like the story, I like the characters, and I like, you know, kind of that seeing the rebellion start and how people were hesitant. Because, I mean, Kanan was like, dude, what are you talking about? I seen my master get blasted down. You guys want me to come into this rebellion? This ain't going to work. Like, I just like that type of... And I like the way... I never really, like, attached myself to any of the characters in Rebels. I mean, in the Clone Wars. Like, there was never any characters in there that I attached myself to. But I could attach myself to the characters and some of the things that they were going into in Rebels. Bad Batch, kind of. Like, Hunter is like I am. I'm always trying to figure out, you know, how to solve the problem. And that's kind of how Hunter is. He's trying to figure out which is the best way and which is going to be the safer way for him and his men and how he's going to do what's going to be the best, opportunity, and he's willing to make sacrifices to himself in order to, you know, to accomplish the goals that they need to accomplish. And I kind of relate to that because I'm kind of the same way. I'm going to do what I need to do in order to, to get past that. I think that's one of the reasons that I like losing. Sometimes you have to sacrifice certain things in order to accomplish your goals. That's just the way, that's just life. So there's relatable characters within Andor, and I think that's one of the reasons that I like Andor so much, because I can relate to some of the things. Now, I don't know about killing 50 people just to save one guy. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like a reverse philosophy there, but you know what I'm saying? There's been times that I've had to sacrifice things because I knew that if I didn't, the ultimate goal wasn't going to be accomplished. I mean, I have to sit back and make them type of decisions at work all the time. Like, yeah, it might suck for, this guy over here, but you need to go with him because I need to make sure that job is going to get done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sacrificing this person liking me or, wanting to deal with me because I have to make sure that the job is going to get done. And just sometimes you have to do that. And there's been positions where people like, fuck you, I'm not going to do it, and walk off the damn job. Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, and I'm not trying to be an asshole to you and make you work with somebody that you don't want to work with, but at the same time, things have to get done. That's just the reality. I can't, people's personal thoughts and personal feelings don't apply to getting the work done. The work still has to get done. And it sucks, but hey, it happens like that sometimes. I mean, you can't appease everybody, and that's kind of how Lucen is. Lucen is like, I can't make everybody. Somebody got to die. You know what I'm saying? Either you got to die or 50 people got to die. Who's gonna die? I think that you offer more than these 50 people do, because the information you can give us from the ISB is going to keep us one step ahead of the Empire. These 50 people are not going to give us that same information, so they got to die. So I can see where he comes from. He's just relatable because we have to make them type of decisions every day in life, not over life and death, but over people's opinions or their feelings or certain things like that. You just have to make decisions because it's best for the overall team or the overall goal.
Well, time to move on.
Yeah, we can move on. We got some news. Anybody got some news?
I have something I want to talk about. Sean Levy is apparently in talks to direct a Star Wars movie.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's already doing Deadpool 3, but
they're talking about that he won't start until after Deadpool 3.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is kind of,
no.
Yeah, he said that he wouldn't even consider doing it until after Deadpool 3 was over.
Do you think he'd do a good job?
Oh,
Well,
I love Deadpool.
He's done all kind of different
Yeah,
stuff.
but Deadpool's a very different than Star Wars.
Well,
yeah,
think about
but
it. He's
you get that
Deadpool,
rated R.
He did The Watchmen. What else did he?
Have you seen The Watchmen?
Yeah.
No, not you, Kyle. I know you have. You're a DC fan like I am. You gotta watch it.
Overall, I just like
it's
Star
different.
Wars. I like superheroes. I like all that stuff. Marvel, all that stuff. I'm a giant geek. But he's done a lot of other movies, so his palette is, he's really good at switching between the type of. He did the one, he's done several movies with Ryan Reynolds. But like the one where the video game one that Ryan,
Free Guy?
Regular Guy, or what was it called?
Free Guy.
He did that one. He's done a lot of different things. So he's basically done all kind of different genres. So I don't know why he wouldn't be able to switch into a Star Wars genre. Okay. Even if and I wouldn't even mind. Well, I don't know, because I say that, and then if it happens, then I'm gonna be irritated. And a more comedy-based Star Wars, but the comedy-based stuff that I've seen so far, other than David being the Major Domo in Book of Boba Fett, because I think he was the best character in it. That shit was hilarious. He was funny. And What's Her Face was funny. That was like the best parts of Book of Boba Fett that I liked. I don't know. I don't know.
What?
Holy shit! This guy directed everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's directed a lot of different things, so his
He'll
genre
be just
he doesn't
fine.
have
Yeah.
like a he can do anything.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
what got him such a big reputation in Hollywood was just his ability to direct anything. I mean, basically
Yeah,
they give him a script and
literally anything. You
can
got
do anything.
Free Guy, Deadpool, Night at the Museum,
Yep.
The Pink Panther, Big Fat Liar. What Robin's Wish? Like what the flip?
Oh, yeah. Did y'all know that Christopher Lee had a heavy metal band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that Count Dooku himself had a heavy metal band.
Dude,
Yes, he did.
Count Dooku lived up to his character name.
Now,
Actually,
it was-
probably outshined his character name.
Now, I'm not saying that it was any good, but I did not know that at all. I literally looked it up because I had to look it up because I brought it up in the well, it'll be in the next Star Wars audio archives. I talk about it because it was one of the fun facts. But I'm like, dude, I did not know that. And listening to it, it wasn't very good. But he basically sounds like he's talking in that Count Dooku voice over a loud ass guitar. I was like, okay, this is what you call, music. I can, but yeah, I did not know that. That was one of those things. That's them fun facts that you learn about. Like, what the fuck?
All right. Well, any other news?
I had something, but I got to look for it. I got 20 pages open here. Let me go back and look.
That was the only big ones I saw.
The only one that let's see. Let me see if it pops up. Da, 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 da. There was something else. It had to do with I can't remember what it was about now. It was about one of the games. There was an announcement on a game. It wasn't Eclipse. I think it was
Jedi Survivor?
yeah, Survivor. I don't know. I can't find it now. That's what happened when my mic was messing up and I had to turn off the whole computer. I lost everything that I had set up already. Just to let y'all know, we was having some technical difficulties before the show. It sounded like my mic was about to explode everybody's eardrums.
God. It's terrible.
Yeah, but I had at one point I had 30 pages open.
Jesus.
A lot of different information.
I know, your poor computer, though.
Yeah, my computer can take it though. There's a new Star Wars memorabilia exhibit opening up on November 11th in Doraville. And I guess they got a lot of memorabilia. I don't know. I don't think that would be something that I'd want to start because you're not going to be able to mess with Rancho Obi-Wan.
No,
Like,
you ain't gonna go
Yeah.
anywhere near
What's
that.
the point? Like, what's the point of even trying?
Like
dude,
after you watch his walkthrough video, you're gonna look at your museum and be like,
Well,
cool.
Never mind.
No. Hey, you call him, hey, I got a bunch of shit you might want. How much you want to pay? And he'll probably buy it. He'll end up trying to buy it off of him because that's what he does. He buys collectibles. The man doesn't quit. People
Yeah.
send him stuff too. That's
And
the
then,
crazy
dude,
part.
Dude, to watch the walkthrough of that and see all of that stuff that he has, and he's been collecting for years. like I just don't see the point in going anywhere else to see the shit because I know I can go there and see whatever I want to see. Like he has everything. Like I don't think there's anything that dude does not have.
Like I said, even shit that gets made in other countries, people will mail it to him.
So
like it don't matter.
But I thought it was kind of cool that it says it's 50,000 square foot exhibit. Hub's Art Center in Doraville, 5660 Buford Highway. Has over 600 unique Star Wars collectibles. Life-size figures, models, one-of-a-kind sculptures, figurines, photos, posters, costumes.
Once again, no disrespect to them. I'm glad you're doing what you're passionate about, especially when it comes to Star Wars, but have you watched Rancho Obi-Wan's shit? Like, 600 is nothing. That's maybe one section of just one character for him.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's maybe his Boba Fett section.
I'm pretty sure this is in, I don't know where this is at. I guess it's in the UK. So, like, I got to go all the way to Europe to see this. I can just go to California and see.
And what's cool about that, though, is, like, people that can't come here to go to Rancho Obi-Wan, they can go there and have that experience there, which I think is cool. I mean, everybody should be able to experience something like that. Even if you can't come here, you can always go there if you're on that side of the world, which I think is very uplifting in the community.
My brother-in-law moved to Switzerland, and I was talking to him, and like, cause he called this last weekend. Yeah, it was.
Fuck that! I wouldn't answer that. I would answer that call, but fuck, man, I bet the minutes were high.
Nah, it's all right. I mean, that's what cell phones are for. He still has an American number. I don't even know if they charge us for that shit. But anyway, he called. We was talking to him, and like, I thought they would be like, scary living over there. And he was like, dude, we don't even hear nothing about the war. He was like, dude, it's not that big of a deal in Switzerland. Like, are you sure, man? Because, like, over there, man, they killing people left and right, and Russia's bombing shit. And I'm like, dude, that would be scary as shit to live over there. And he was like, nah, it's not really that big of a deal. He was like, we don't even hear about it. He's like, I bet you guys hear about it more than we do. They don't even talk about it on the news and stuff over there. I was like, for the reals? Honestly, I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff.
I could believe it.
Like, it's right next door and you don't even know about it. Shit, right around the corner from my damn house. Like, what was it, Friday night? Some dude shot his girlfriend in the face and then shot her grandmother. Her grandmother came out to stop what was going on and he shot and killed her. I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on with who the hell shoots people's grandmas? Like,
okay.
Christ. Bad enough you shot and killed her, but then you shoot and kill her grandma? Jesus Christ. What the hell is going on where people shoot people's grandmas?
Well, it's the same thing over here. Like, everybody, like, I had people like, oh, Idaho's all peace and calm and quiet. Bull fucking shit. There's been 4 people have been shot down the road from where I live. Like, it is not calm here. It's not calm anywhere. I
just don't know what's going on. So my mother-in-law went with me to go drop my wife off, right? So we drive to St. Louis, and, we're just talking about everything. And then we're driving back, and we're just talking like there's only like 150,000 people live here. I mean, this
Columbia have a high murder rate?
Huh?
Doesn't St. Louis have a high murder rate?
St. Louis does, but like even here. Like, I swear,
compared to
every morning I
Baltimore.
get up and turn on the news and somebody got shot. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, what the hell? The problem is young people. Young people don't know how to fight no more. Like, remember when we were young, you just got into a fight. And whoever won was right. That was it.
Well, and like,
done.
My biggest thing is
pull out guns and just shoot each other in the face like it ain't shit.
Well, like, a guy was harassing Tori at work when she was working at the bowling alley. And, like, he was like, oh, let's step outside. And I was like, well, it's not going to go the way you want. You're drunk. I'm sober. And then I'm going to want to shake your hand and help you back up, maybe help you go get cleaned up, and then buy a beer and we can talk about it after I beat your ass. And he's like, oh, no. And his girlfriend's like, I'm going to call the cops. And I'm like, and that's the problem. What happened to shake hands? Cool. No more beef. Like, it's over. You got your ass beat. I got my ass beat. Don't matter. Let's go have a beer. We're at a fucking bar. Like, let's call it good after that. Like, it just.
I remember
I
went to a bar one time in Colorado and it was a biker bar, right? And I thought it was kind of cool because, like, they was watching Star Wars in the bar. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, man, it's cool. They watching Star Wars. They, like, these bikers and Star Wars fans, it's cool. They whooped the shit out of me. beat my motherfucking ass. These motherfuckers were such asshole that they beat my ass, threw beer in my face after they knocked me out, woke me the fuck back up and beat me up some more.
God.
It was fucked up. Like, I was hurt. Like, really hurt. I thought I couldn't breathe for like a week. I swear I had some broken ribs. But, you know what I'm saying? After it was all done, everybody was drinking. Everybody had a good time. Like,
That's
it
what I'm
wasn't
saying.
no
Like,
big
it
deal.
don't.
Like,
It don't.
They got me shit-faced drunk after
be the
they
same
beat my
anymore.
ass, so I couldn't feel the pain no more. And I was like, you know, that's at least that's kind of cool, even though y'all suck.
And that's the thing. Not everybody's all like, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot you. Oh, I'm gonna stab you. Oh, I'm gonna run you over." It's like, how about we just like go onto the street light and duke it out? Like, what happened here? Like, throw your dick beaters up.
unless
Let's
you're
fight,
Garrison.
asshole. Come on,
Unless you're
Garrison, you
Garrison.
look bored as shit.
Unless me, bro. I've never lost a fight. But to be
Does
fair,
getting
You never
jumped
lost a
count?
one-on-one fight.
to be
Hold
fair, I've never fought a bunch of biker dudes.
Yeah.
And
I was,
you know,
I was about to say, does getting jumped count as a fight though? Because I've been jumped a few times. I haven't lost a fist fight 1-on-1, but like when it comes to getting jumped, I've gotten my ass beat.
I've only lost one fight ever, and it was with this dude named Razzle. And this dude was like, he used to be a sensei at a Shaolin Kempo karate school. He was like a 6th-degree black belt. This dude kicked me in the back of the head, and I didn't even see him move. Yeah, he beat my ass pretty bad. That shit was fucked up. That's when
I'm
I
thinking
found
like
out.
I'm thinking back. I don't think I've lost one, but at the same time, like I haven't been in a whole lot, so maybe I'm just lucky.
One of my good friends, Tony, his dad told me, he was like, dude, there's nobody, if you got hit, you lost that fight. If you got hit one time, you lost the fight. He was like, because you suffered damage. Anytime you suffer damage, it's a loss. And I was sitting back and I was thinking like, dude, I done whooped some people's ass. Yeah, they might have got a couple hits on me, but they wasn't moving. I got up like, I was fine.
I was like,
You know
I
what I'm saying?
disagree with that.
But he was like, when you went and looked in the mirror and you seen that black eye or that
Busted
slit
nose.
lip or whatever you got in that fight, you lost. Because now you have to explain your situation. He's like, you can't go to a job interview with a swollen up ass eye and be like, hey, can I have this job? No, because you lost. He's like, so nobody ever really wins a fight. Fighting is just a way to get out men's frustration. He's like, that's all it is. We get frustrated, we go beat the shit out of each other because that's how we deal with things. He was like, women, they get freaking mad and just yell at us. So we have to go take it out on somebody else, and then we go out and we fight, win, lose, it doesn't matter. We leave aggression, we leave stuff. That's what keeps us from beating our wives. Because you can't do that no more. Back, 60 years ago, you could just beat the shit out of your wife. You was okay. You got rid of all the aggression. You go out to the world again. Now you can't do that shit no more.
Jesus.
You beat the shit out of your wife now, you going to prison forever. That's like worse than murder and stuff. Hey, CJ.
Yes.
You listen to Time Suck, right?
A little bit, yes.
Did you listen to the last one that came out this Monday?
No, I haven't been
Go
able to.
listen to that shit. Boy,
What
the
is it?
statistics on...
I listened to Time Suck.
Yeah, did you
Is
listen
this
to the last one?
the Native American women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
that
okay.
shit is crazy.
Dude, it's scary. Oh, hold on. There's this movie about it that's flipping amazing. Oh, it's with the Hawkeye actor.
Jeremy Renner, Knife River, or not Knife River. I know exactly what movie you're talking
River.
about.
Yeah.
Not
Dude,
River.
him talking about the
Windy
statistics.
River. Wind
yeah.
River. Bro, watch Wind River.
That
Talk about-
explains it. That
a
explains
movie
it
about
all.
The same stuff. Oh,
Dude,
dude,
I don't want to
it's
hear nobody.
heartbreaking.
I don't want to hear nobody talk about racism, any other race, at all. The Indians are still getting fucked around. It's 2022. They getting fucked around bad. You know me. One of us can
It's
go on an
rough
Indian
out there.
reservation and just kill somebody, and they can't do shit to us.
Well, vice versa, but yeah.
Yeah, we can just go on an Indian reservation, rape some woman, kill somebody. They can't do shit to us because we don't belong to the Indian reservation, and they have different laws than us. They
Well,
can't
it
do
works the
shit, and they
same
can't
way.
prosecute us because we're not part of the reservation.
Right.
So you just get away with it. Dude, 40% of all rape, murder, and abductions happen to Indian women. 40%. More than all the
insane.
rest of the world put together. 40% happens to Indian women. That
How
shit
the
is
fuck
crazy.
did we end up here?
I don't know. But that shit was fucking crazy when I was listening to that. I was like, dude, really? And this shit is still going on till today. Like, 2022, and this shit's still happening. That's like being like the Twi'leks in the Empire come in, or the Wookiees. They just don't give a shit, and they just rape all your women and murk you, and just don't give a shit, and you don't have no rights at all.
Jesus. Alrighty.
You got to go back and go listen to the episode. Everybody on there, do like go listen to that episode, because I have never felt like more sorry for anybody than after I listened to that episode. Nope. Federal law says you can't be locked up more than 9 years. They can't do more than 9 years and a $15,000 fine. It used to be a year until 2019.
And that's the thing, though. Each res in each state has different things.
Different stuff. Yeah, they can arrest you for different stuff that you wouldn't normally get arrested for.
But they can't charge you. They can't charge you for certain crimes neither.
Right, that's true. And it also works the other way.
The maximum penalty that any reservation can give to an outside citizen is 9 years and a $15,000 fine.
Right.
Well, that's the thing.
maximum.
That's the thing, Bodie.
That's if they're pushed for 3 years. Or, I mean, they can only do a maximum of 3 years, and then they have to retry you. And then they can do you for another 3 years and another 3 years, but maximum of 9 years.
And that's the thing, Bodie. If they transferred you, if they tried to transfer you, our laws are a lot different than reservation laws. So literally, I could get caught with public intoxication. Let's say I'm native. I get a public intoxication charge, which technically isn't even a charge. And I'm native. They could transfer me back to the res, and I probably wouldn't get in trouble.
Well, there was a guy in, 2004, Garrison? Because you listened to the episode too. So it was like 2004.
I don't remember.
This guy, basically, he went on the Indian reservation.
That's what I said.
And he killed like 5 girls and raped them. So the Indian reservation couldn't do nothing to him, because it wasn't until 2019 that they passed the 3-year thing. It used to be a year. As much as they could give you was a year and $1,000 fine for anything that you did. So they tried to charge him. He got away with it. Then they tried to keep him. Then it ended up going to the.
No, it wasn't a stereotype thing. I know you're joking,
Court,
but still.
It went to the United States Supreme Court, and they released him because they said he can do what he want on the Indian reservation.
The only reason why I thought of public intoxication is because one of my dad's best friends, before he passed away, he was getting charged with public intoxication, and he lived on the res. He went back to the res, and they they're like, go the fuck home, like just go home. That was the only immediate thought I had, was like my uncle was like, that's pretty fucking funny. But no, and like you said, Bodie, it depends on the res and the tribe. Like, you could probably do one thing in one res and be okay, and then you can go to one up in you could be up in Pendleton on the res up there in Oregon, and it could be a law there. Like, everything's different at each reservation.
Well,
before we get into this big political debate, I think we can all just agree, whatever side you're on, the issue with reservations and Native Americans is not great.
Hell no. They getting dude,
no matter who you are, I think
human
that's
trafficking,
that we can agree
dude.
on.
They're snatching young women off of the reservations in a rated number that 40%, and you got to figure that's one of the smallest populations of American people. They have the smallest population, and 40%.
Right.
That is high as shit, man. It's like, dude, and it's still happening in 2022. The reason I bring it up, because I think this is something that, I don't know, I feel very compassionate because I have Indian in me. And, I feel like, dude, this sucks that this is still going on in 2022. We hear about Black Lives Matter, and we hear about, what's going on, like us being white men, we automatically get the shit end of the deal because shit that happened, freaking 120 years ago that we didn't have anything to do with. We get the shit end of the deal on that, what I'm saying, because we're automatically the bad guy, even though I haven't ever done shit. Saying, You get all these different things, but the people that are really still suffering, like really suffering, is Native Americans. Native Americans are still suffering till today, and they still have no freaking rights at all. They have no rights whatsoever. Like, they are not even in existence as people. Like, that's the way the U.S. government looks at Native Americans. Like,
when they're
not
on a
even
reservation, yeah, because they're their own nation technically.
like, it sucks that this shit is still going on. And I think that people need to speak out about it and like do literally, because we're, everybody's quick to stand up for, racism and negativity and stand up and say this stuff is wrong, but ain't nobody saying nothing about the Indian people that are going through this shit. And it's wrong. People should be speaking out about this.
Well, and that's the thing. And when people do speak out, it doesn't get enough popularity towards it.
Well, because it is also a very complicated issue because there's not much we're legally able to do, because like the US government, there's not much they're legally able to do because technically it's a whole other country.
What's
and so
in the country?
There's all these laws preventing cooperation, which is at the root of the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just something that needs to be talked about so, that people can, people can start making change. There needs to be change on this. There's no reason that anybody should be treated the way that the Native Americans is being treated. And my grandfather was born on the reservation. He was born in the reservation in Oklahoma, and which makes me, I'm like, what, a 16th, I think, some stupid shit like that, whatever. But I mean, it doesn't even have anything to do with me. It just has to do with people looking at things and, setting back.
I've seen that.
Realizing.
Hey, Chris, I've seen that. Like the Reservation Dogs. I've watched that. It's good. There's another one too. It's about a basketball team on a reservation that it talks about like the
It
statistics.
just needs something. And I think as, we're quick to defend, our thoughts on about Star Wars or our thoughts about, whatever, but we ain't quick to defend like real things that are going bad in this country and in this world. And I think we need to speak out more about it. I think we all do it. We owe it to ourselves, and we owe it to Star Wars. Because just imagine, we talk about how fucked up the tyranny was for like the Twi'leks and the different Wookiees and the stuff, and how much it infuriates us. This stuff is really happening right here in our own country, in the world today. There's still slavery in South Africa and in parts of Africa. Like, dude, what? Still slavery in 2022? Like, Jesus Christ, what is going on with the world? We got, down south in Mexico, you got women getting trafficking, and all this shit, and nobody's talking about it. Like, you barely ever hear about it. Like, I had to listen to a podcast to find out that I didn't know nothing about this stuff was going on with the Indian people still. I thought they were just living their lives and it was just normal shit. I had to listen to a podcast like, holy shit, this is really going on? Like, This is fucked up. And I just think that it needs to be talked about. And even if it is, for 5 minutes on our podcast, or if it's, whatever it is, just if we can get, 5 people to tell 5 more people, and then them 5 people tell 5 people, then next thing you know, 500,000 people done heard about it, and maybe change will happen. That's how you get the word out, is by talking about it. You don't get the word out by just sitting back and saying, oh, that's fucked up. That's just the reality of the world. We gonna have to change this world. The people in between the ages of, 20 and 60 are the ones that's gonna have to change this world and to get it to where we want it to be. Because right now it's going in a fucked up ass direction. And we have to make a difference.
Well, that's a great place to end, Kyle. That's a great place.
Difference.
Go out and make a change.
General Grievous 19, welcome to the show. He said he thinks episode 10 of Andor is great. Yes, we agree. That shit is super great.
God, man.
One of the best episodes yet. What's the highest episode? You've been keeping track of it, right?
9.
Yeah. So this is the highest overall. Kyle, you rated episode 6 and 9 as well. But
that was a good episode.
CJ and mine brought it down a little bit. So yeah, so far this is the best overall.
I think that we're on a good path here if they just keep on. I don't know, the next 2 arc is a different director, because I think it's Andy something is the director of these was the director of these 3 episodes, this 3-episode arc. I think he did the other arc too. I think basically the best arcs that we done had has been by the same director. So, but the next arc is by a different director and a different writer, if I'm not mistaken. I'm still surprised that it said George Lucas was one of the writers on this. Like, what? Really? Like, that was kind of cool.
Was that it then? Because that just seemed.
No, I was just reading what Bodie wrote down. He said that's why the American media, aka fake news, canceled the Coney 2012 movement because it didn't fit in the American bad slavery nation narrative. Just think about schools in general. Like, dude, half of the shit that I know about, like, I just found out a couple years ago that my ancestors were slaves. Like, my ancestors were Irish slaves that were brought over here to build the 12 colonies, the 13 colonies. I didn't know that there.
Yeah, like, nobody knows about that.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, shit, white people were slaves? Yeah, the Europeans enslaved everybody. They didn't give a shit who they was. The Irish and Swiss, the Irish was the Irish.
Bro, and everybody was just like
the Irish and Scottish. Each other. Irish and Scottish were the people that built the 13 colonies, and they were all slaves. And the only reason that they got to not be slaves is because they agreed to fight with America during the Civil War. I mean, not Civil War, but the Revolutionary War. Because if not, we would all be European. We'd all still be part of Great Britain, but it was because of the Irish and the Scots fighting during the Revolutionary War and that's how they regained their slavery. But Europe they had slave registration. So all slaves was registered. That's how we found out about my sister found out about the history and found out that it was like my great-great-great-grandfather and my great-great-grandfather, something like that, whatever, great-great, however far back it goes, was an Irish slave. And I'm like, dude, what? My ancestors was a slave? I don't want nobody talking shit to me about slavery. I came from slavery. What the hell are you talking about? But, I mean, dude, I just can't believe it's 2022 and we're still talking about none of this. Like, racism and dude, ain't we past all this shit yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, the world hasn't grown. Like, it just fucking sucks, man. I mean, we went through the whole shit with Kenobi and Reva. Like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Reva was a bad bitch on that motherfucker. She was just, I hated her just because she was fucking a bitch. But that was her character. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You were supposed to hate her. You know, that's the character that she was. But people bringing race and all that shit into her, like, dude, she fucking killed that part. Even though I didn't like the fucking Kenobi series, she killed the fucking part. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to give it up to where acting is just good. Like, I don't understand. I don't know, man. All this shit is just stupid. It's so fucking dumb and petty. Oh, fucking a black woman can't be fucking Ariel and Little Mermaid. Why the fuck not? Who the hell fuck? She was a cartoon character. She could be fucking green. Like, who gives a fuck? Does she play the part good? Like, I don't give a fuck what color she is. Like, is she a good actor? That's all I care about. Like, I just don't get all this fucking political and fucking racial and all this bullshit that's going on. It's fucking crazy. It's 2022 and we're still fucking dealing with this shit. Like, ain't we better than this? Like, the fucking whole world should be fucking past all this shit. Like, dude, we all fucking gotta live together no matter what. It's not like there's fucking, okay, we're gonna put all the black people in Africa, we're gonna put all the European people over here, we're gonna put all the fucking people over, man, everybody's just fucking everywhere now. You know, it's just fucking, like, it's just fucking, that's just the shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way the world is. Everybody get along, everybody be happy, and then everybody can be happy. Like, fuck, we're all going through the same problems. We all got bills to pay that we don't want to pay. We all got a government that's sucking us fucking dry for all the tax money they can get out of us. You know what I'm saying? Inflation's killing everybody. Fucking gas prices is fucking $4 a gallon for it cost me $51 to put a half a tank of gas in my damn car today. I was fucking pissed. Like, bullshit. I was yelling at the fucking people at the pump. Like, what the fuck, $51? Jesus Christ, I only got a half a tank. We all suffer from the same shit no matter what color you are. No matter what your background is, no matter what you fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're rich. You pay $51 for a half a tank of gas, it still pisses you off. I don't give a fuck how much money you have. What the fuck, 51 goddamn dollars? The fuck, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Star Wars team leader says, "Is it quiz time?" We don't do quizzes on Wednesday.
We don't do the quiz.
Everybody just wants me to shut up. I'm just over here rambling.
Yeah, bro. I'm just kidding.
No, I just, the world is better than that. People are better than that. I think, dude, honestly, and I've been saying this for a while, the problem with the world is nobody has compassion for anybody anymore. Nobody gives a fuck about nobody else. And that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? No, I won't ever be as bad as Kanye. Kanye just says retarded shit. That motherfucker says the dumbest shit here. That motherfucker really needs some help.
Hey, at least I'm not Kanye. Something everyone can be confident.
Being with Kim fucked him up. He was all right before he got with Kim. Then he just went all fucking left field.
It's called the Kardashian curse of Lamar Odom.
Yeah, he turned into a chick. You know what I'm saying?
No. Lamar Odom turned into a dramatic crackhead.
No, that dude got caught sleeping with them 2 transvestites.
No, he got
Yes.
caught with drugs. His nickname was the fucking Candyman.
No. When What's-Her-Face broke up with him, when they broke up, like, look it up. Lamar Odom was a basketball player, right? We're talking about the
for the
basketball player,
Lakers.
right? Yes, he got caught with 2 transvestites. Kanye is just special. That dude, you know what I'm saying? This motherfucker, who the hell idolizes Donald Trump? Like, it's one thing to say I like Donald Trump, but it's another thing. This dude was idolizing this dude, wearing Donald Trump shirts and shit. Like, dude, there's something wrong with you. Like, I think Donald Trump did a way better job running the country than Biden and him is doing, but, you know what I'm saying? He still got a bunch of problems.
He's not necessarily a dude you worship, you know?
Yeah, it's not, you know, he don't get
I
that
hope
type
you're not
of fucking,
worshiping that kind of guy. But
yeah,
okay.
he was an asshole. It was the worst. He was a worse president when it came to PR. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, I think that's easy to agree with. All right. Well,
He didn't have a whole lot to deal with. You know what I mean? But now it's like, dude, and the messed up thing about it is you can't believe what the news says. You can't believe what anything
Not
that
at
anybody
all.
says. You literally have to go out and you have to like defer. You have to listen to a whole bunch of different shit and watch a whole bunch of different shit and then kind of nitpick it to see what the fuck the truth is. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know who's telling the truth, who's just making up shit, who's trying to get clicks. Because even the news and shit. Nowadays, it's all click-through rates. So they just put out clickbait. Like, I've clicked on fucking articles that have to do with, like, something that you think's real big in the news, and then they're talking about puppies. What the fuck does this got to do with the bombing in Afghanistan?
All right, Colin, we're rambling
what I'm
on
saying?
now, dude.
What the
Come
fuck
on.
are y'all
Jesus
talking
Christ,
about?
Kanye, calm down.
But, yeah, it's just... And it even happens within Star Wars news. How many times have you clicked on an article and then the article had nothing to do with what the fucking title was to the
Oh,
thing? It's
so many fucking times.
just click through. It's clickbait because they want you to click. They get paid off of your click. I don't know how it went from, you know, how many viewers watch something to that. Now, if you just click on an article, they make money, so they'll say whatever they want. They'll say to get a click. Because, like, literally, I've clicked on shit like, this article has nothing to do with the picture, the title, nothing. It don't have anything to do with it at all. And that's what's really frustrating because, you know, especially with somebody like us that tries to bring news to fans of Star Wars and stuff like that, and then you click on 37 articles and 2 actually tell you something. The rest of them is just somebody just rambling on about something like I'm doing right now, just rambling on about shit. I don't know why. I feel better, and I haven't got to talk to nobody really in like 2 days. So I just want to talk, and I don't ever get to talk to anybody.
Damn,
about Star
start
Wars.
off with that. Make me feel bad now.
I swear, we need to create a flipping podcast where we just talk about whatever.
like the whatever podcast. We just get on there and just ramble about all kind of
You
shit
know what
that
I
we
mean?
don't
That's
know
what Joe
about.
Rogan does, basically. Like, fuck.
Yeah, but Joe Rogan has people on there that you actually want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not so much to listen to Joe Rogan. Like, you get on there to listen to his guests because he be having some good guests.
That's true.
It's not him. Joe Rogan don't make the Joe Rogan show. He just has the ability to get people on there like Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil was on there the other day. And, you know,
All right.
like people you really want to listen to. You want to hear what the scientists and, you know, saying Elon Musk and shit like that. Like, I want to hear what Elon Musk is talking about. That dude just bought Twitter.
Lenny, you can't call it the High Council unless if we're all fucking toking up and then talking. Like, literally, we'd have to call it the High Council and then be high.
The High Council. Y'all can have fun with that because I can't get high.
I mean, you can. It's just whether you should or shouldn't.
Well, it's
That's
not that I
the
can't get high.
difference.
I can't get high because of my job, not because of like getting high. I would love to be high all the time, and then I wouldn't have to feel all this damn pain that I'm in constantly. I mean, y'all like I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
I had a best friend in high school that got diagnosed with MS, and he's not doing so hot, but he's still around. I mean, he got diagnosed
the
at
likeliness
15.
of you dying of MS anymore is slim to none.
He's just he was already severe. Like when we were playing, how we found out was that I broke his leg playing basketball. And when he went and got his blood tests and all the works done and everything after they did the surgeries and stuff, see how, you know, his blood was and making sure there was no infections or anything, they found it.
Like, how did they do that? Because they find the way they find MS is off of lesions.
Yeah.
So basically, I have 3 in my brain and I have 2 on my spinal cord right now, and the ones that are on my spinal cord is up here. So that's what's causing the pain and the numbness down there because it can't send the signals right. So it just.
Well, after he broke his, that's what I'm saying. Like when he broke his leg, they were doing all the blood tests and stuff, and then when they were working on him, like wounds and everything, he's like, I don't even feel like my leg's there. It feels like you guys chopped it off. That's what I was, you know. It was to a point where it was nuts. Marcus went through a shit ton of stuff for that. He's still, I mean, he's in a wheelchair now. That's how bad it's got.
Well, that's
Like,
usually what happens. So, like, from what I've read, basically it starts off, most people get numbness and tingling. And then that spreads, and then usually, if you're right-handed, usually you'll start losing mobility in your left side. And then once you start losing mobility in your left side, then you'll start getting, you know, speech impairments, blindness, different things like that. And usually what takes somebody out is because the nerves can't signal to the muscles to work correctly, so you can't cough right. And then your lungs you'll develop pneumonia, and then usually that's what takes you out. And it could happen drastically fast, or it could be slow. But the new medications they got, like the medication they got me on right now, the only thing that sucks is it just kills my immune system. So I don't have basically the medicine is giving me A's, but it's keeping me from the MS killing me. Because basically it's destroying my, like I was sick. I had a cold for like 5 weeks. I couldn't get rid of it because I don't have no immune system. Because basically the immune system is attacking the nerves, so they kill the immune system so it can't attack the nerves. But you're accessible to other things, but you're not gonna die from MS. The only problem with most of the MS medications, once you start taking it, you can't ever stop. If you ever stop, then your body's natural response is to double up on everything. So it's going to double up your immune system. And then, of course, you're going to have twice the immune system to kill off or to attack whatever was the problem. It's the same. They're doing it. Basically, they call it gene editing or gene whatever it's called, therapy. And they're using it on cancer, MS, ALS, so many different things because they can just stop your body from creating whatever is causing your body to have the problem. So if, you know, they got medicines now that can stop your body from producing more cancer if you got cancer. It'll stop it from spreading. It won't get rid of the cancer that's already there, but the cancer that's already there is not going to get any worse. And that's the same thing with the MS medication I'm on now. I won't get any worse as long as I stay on the medication. But at the same time, there's a consequence to pay. I just don't. I don't have an immune system, so I got to be real. I got to be real careful on, the stuff that I do and the people I'm around. Like my son right now got COVID. My oldest son got COVID, and I can't even go over there and take him some freaking water, or some juice or something. I can't go bring it to his house unless I leave it on the front porch. I can't have any interaction with him because if I get COVID, it's going to jack me up 10 times worse because I have no immune system to even fight it off. And that's just like, and I really don't like taking the medication. It don't feel like it's doing shit. I feel exactly the same. But I take 9 pills every freaking morning and like 4 in the evening. And it doesn't feel like it's doing shit. I don't feel any different at all, like at all. But if I forget to take my medication, oh shit, I paid a price because that's what happened on Saturday night. I just forgot to take my medication. I was just working on shit, and then I paid for it for the next, 3-4 days. Today I started feeling a little bit better, and I only missed 1 dose. I missed my nightly dose of the medication, but it just jacked me the hell up. I feel like shit for the last 3 or 4 days, like to the point I had no energy. It sucked. It was just terrible. And now I'm starting to feel better, but now I'm behind on shit that I needed to get done and trying to get everything done and figure out everything that I needed to get done. And now I'm behind everything just because of one little, and I just forgot. I thought I took them because I literally have an alarm that goes off at 6 o'clock in the morning and it goes off for 30 minutes. I can't turn it off. Only way I can turn it off is because it's through an app for the medication that I'm on. Only way I can turn it off is when I open the box up for the medication. This is my medication box right here. So it has a little chip in there, and when you slide these, it has this little thing. When you slide this open, it deactivates the alarm. So unless I slide that open, it won't deactivate the alarm. It'll go off for 30 minutes straight on my phone. And my phone was dead on Saturday. I just didn't charge it. So I didn't even know it was dead. I was just working on shit and I wasn't paying attention. And because it goes off 6 o'clock in the morning, it goes off 6 o'clock in the evening is when I have to take my medicine. And I just didn't, my phone was dead. So I was working on the podcast. I was getting everything ready to put our podcast out, our Saturday episode out on Spotify and all that stuff. I was working on that stuff, and I was talking to Theodore, and he was telling me to do something because I was trying to figure out how to get to do something that I hadn't done before. So I called Theodore, and he was working me through the process of doing it. So I was doing that, and my phone was dead, and I just forgot about it. And then I went to bed at like 1 in the morning, and then when I woke up Sunday, I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I went to go take my morning medicine. And I just opened up the evening one, and I seen that I didn't take my medicine, and I was like, oh, shit, that's why I feel the way that I feel. And the sucky thing is, it's been like that. Like, I feel like shit since Sunday. Sunday morning, I've just felt like just crap. All because I forgot to take my medicine one time. No, what's Bodie? So no lightsaber fight Kyle and Garrison? Bodie collection at CJ? What do you mean? What is that supposed to mean?
If you read the comments up above, when we were talking about this fighting and shit. He's like, "How about we let Garrison and CJ fight, but with lightsabers?"
Hey, my grandson smacked me in the face with one of my damn lightsabers. That shit hurt like a bitch. That shit hurt, and he was like 2. He full swing smacked me. I was laying in the bed like pow, like oh son of a bitch. Oh Jesus. All right. Hold up, y'all. My wife is calling me from Arizona.
My wife has been calling me.
Hello?
I gotta poop.
Hey, what's up? Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. So I got to get off of here because, we've been going for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. It's 9 o'clock, Kyle. Damn it.
I got work in the morning.
But yeah, I gotta. Well, we all gotta work in the morning. But my wife just called. My daughter's having a baby, so she's in Arizona.
All right. Well,
We will see you guys
congrats.
Saturday. Garrison, click the button.
peace. May the force be with you.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. LightSaber Radio is produced by Pickfilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.